All right, Falcons fans, buckle up because things are heating up in Flowery Branch, and I have some big news for you today that could shake up this defense in a big way. We're diving into a few moves the Falcons could be making, and I have to say, if Atlanta makes any of these, it could really be a game changer heading into the 2025 season. So be sure to hit that like button and join us to stay informed. Let's start with the first potential impact that has everyone talking, Jaire Alexander. Yep, you heard that right. The $84 million man from Green Bay could be headed to Atlanta. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would the Packers let him go? This guy is an all-pro cornerback when healthy, one of the best shutout defenders in the league. But here's the thing. Over the past 2 seasons, Alexander has been limited to just 7 games per year. That kind of injury history, combined with a hefty contract, has Green Bay looking for an exit strategy. That's where the Falcons come in. According to reports, if the Packers can't find a trade partner, they could release Alexander before the 2025 season. And if that happens, don't be surprised if Atlanta is one of the first teams to call. Think about it. The Falcons already have a solid secondary foundation. A.J. Terrell is locked in as CB1. Jesse Bates III is holding things down at safety. But imagine sliding a healthy Jaire Alexander into that CB2 spot? That would instantly give Atlanta one of the nastiest secondaries in the NFC, maybe the league. Yeah, the injury risk is there. But in just 7 games last year, Alexander still managed 16 tackles, 2 picks, a defensive TD, and 7 passes defended. That's elite production in half a season. If the Falcons can get him on a team-friendly deal, this is a low-risk, high-reward move that could completely shift the tone on defense. All right, that's move 1. Let's shift gears to the draft. Everyone remembers the heat the Falcons took for drafting Michael Penix Jr. at number 8 last year. But now, that move is starting to look like it could pay off big time. Penix is showing flashes. Bijan Robinson is coming off a monster season. Offensively, things are starting to click. But defensively, still a lot of work to do. Enter Kenneth Grant, the mountain of a man out of Michigan who is quickly becoming one of the most intriguing defensive prospects in the 2025 NFL Draft. We're talking 6 feet 4 inches, 331 pounds of raw power. This dude was a wrecking ball on Michigan's national championship winning defense. 2-time All-Big Ten. 3rd-team All-American. 69 tackles, 6.5 sacks, 3 fumble recoveries, and even a pick? From a defensive tackle? Yeah. That's the kind of disruption the Falcons desperately need on the interior. And let's not forget, Grady Jarrett's no longer in the picture. That interior D-line is thin. Real thin. Grant steps in day 1 and becomes your anchor. He's a culture setter. A tone setter. And Fox Joel Klatt even said he might be the best defensive player in this entire draft class. That's big-time praise considering you've got studs like Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter coming out this year too. Here's what I love about this potential move. It fits the Falcons' timeline. You've got a young quarterback, a young offensive core, and now you add a young defensive beast to grow with them. You don't mortgage the future. You build it, brick by brick. That's how you stay relevant year after year. Now, some of you might be wondering, why not go for a guy like Trey Hendrickson in a trade? Look, I get it. Proven vet. Sack machine. He's had 17.5 sacks in each of the last 2 seasons. But he's 30. Wants a long-term deal. And the Falcons still have Kirk Cousins' contract eating up a chunk of that cap space. Trading for Hendrickson might feel like a quick fix, but the cost might be too high right now. Especially if you could address the pass rush through the draft instead. So, let's zoom out and look at the big picture. The Falcons have a unique opportunity right now. They're on the cusp of something special. They've got a potential franchise quarterback, an explosive running game. And if they can solidify the defense, whether through a free agent like Jaire Alexander or a rookie monster like Kenneth Grant, they could legitimately make noise in the NFC next season. But the window isn't going to stay open forever. These next few months? Critical. And now, I'm throwing it to you, Falcons Nation. You've heard the reports. You've seen the projections. You know what's at stake. Do you want Atlanta to make a run at Jaire Alexander if he's released? Is that worth the risk, or would you rather draft a guy like Kenneth Grant and keep it young and cost-effective? Let me know in the comments. Let's start with Malaki Starks. If you follow Georgia football, and let's be honest, in Atlanta, who doesn't? You already know the name. Starks has been a beast for the Bulldogs. One of the most complete safeties to come out of college in years, and pretty much every mock draft out there has him pegged as the top safety in the 2025 NFL draft class. He's rangy. He's instinctive. He's got that elite closing speed. And most importantly, he's a local guy. Hometown hero. Jefferson High School. A Georgia Bulldog through and through. Now, he's on the verge of possibly joining the Falcons as part of what could be a homegrown dream scenario. And yes, it's more than just speculation. Malaki Starks confirmed in Indianapolis this week that he's already interviewed with multiple teams: Cincinnati, Miami, Carolina, and on Friday, it's the Atlanta Falcons. And when asked about it, his eyes lit up. Yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome. I'd get to stay home, Starks said. I watched them growing up, and they got great history there. I just want to get my foot in the door anywhere. Tell me this doesn't sound like a guy who wants to wear red and black. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Do the Falcons need a safety right now? Not exactly. The position isn't a glaring hole, especially with Jesse Bates III playing at a high level. But let me ask you this, when was the last time a team regretted adding elite talent to its secondary? Especially a guy who's NFL ready now, who could rotate in early and be a full-time starter by mid-season. Starks fits the culture. He fits the scheme. And he fits Georgia. For a team looking to strengthen its identity and build something lasting on defense, adding a tone-setter like Malaki Starks with the 15th pick might be one of the smartest long-term moves they can make. Now, as we wait to see what Starks can bring to this team, it's impossible not to look back at what Julio Jones brought to it, because just this week, the greatest wide receiver in Falcons history officially called it quits. Julio Jones. The name alone brings back a flood of memories, and not just stats. I'm talking moments. He was drafted 6th overall in 2011, and let's not forget, the Falcons traded up 5 picks to get him. That's how much they believed in what Julio could become. And from the moment he stepped on the field, he didn't just live up to those expectations, he crushed them. As a rookie, 54 catches, 959 yards, 8 touchdowns. Then came 2015, 136 catches for 1,871 yards, leading the league. He followed that up with a Super Bowl appearance in 2016 and one of the most receptions in NFL history on the game's biggest stage, though the end result still stings. Julio finishes his Falcons career with 848 catches, 12,896 yards, 7 Pro Bowls, 5 All-Pro selections, and 2 league receiving titles. A home run threat that made every pass Matt Ryan threw seem like it had a chance to turn into something magical. So here we are now. A legend steps aside. Another hometown star, Malaki Starks, waits in the wings for his pitch. And that's what makes this moment so special. It's the changing of the guard. The baton being passed. And who better to carry it forward than a kid from Jefferson, Georgia who grew up watching Julio light up the dome? That's what building a team the right way looks like. Honoring the past, while investing in the future. So now it's your turn. I want to hear your thoughts. Should we keep building through Georgia, guys? Or are you thinking in a different direction entirely? Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and get all the latest news. Go Falcons!